Let's work.
We're in the trenches. Break it down the defensive line. From technique and fundamentals to NFL and college football analysis. You're listening to Big Dawg Trench
Work. Let's work.
What's up, Big Dawg? This is Coach Roll at 5-Star Lineman Academy, and we in the lab again with another episode of Big Dawg Trench Talk. Big Dawg Trench Talk is an extension of BigDawgFootball.com. Everything that we talk about on Big Dawg Trench Talk,
you will see on BigDawgFootball.com.
On BigDawgFootball.com, you'll find a plethora of pass rush tutorials, several excellent drills that will help enhance your pass rush and run stopping skills. And coaches, we have several educational resources to help you groom your defensive linemen to be some of the best big dogs in the trenches. Visit www.BigDawgFootball.com and subscribe to one of the fastest growing online D-line content nationally and internationally. Join me on the mission of making our defensive linemen real tacticians in the trenches. Don't forget, Big Dawg, when you get ready to check out, make sure you type in the promo code PODCAST. That's PODCAST, podcast. And when you do that at checkout, you'll get 20% off. Why? Because we appreciate you joining us at Big Dawg Trench Talk. Before we get into the thick of today, I'd like to read you something. Listen, the man that masters himself has won a greater victory than taking a city. The more you know about yourself as a person and as a player, the closer you get to triumph. The more you discover who you are, the more you become the victor instead of the victim. It's only a fool that goes to a game looking to see if he's going to conquer, if he's going to make any plays. But when you know yourself, you don't go to the game to see if you're going to make plays. You're going to the game because you know you're going to make plays. Do you sound like the guy that says, I sure hope I make some plays today. We'll see what happens. I'm going to give it my best shot. Or are you the guy that's saying, man, every time I stick my cleats in the dirt, I'm looking for work. I'm going full speed because I'm looking to eat. That guy in front of me don't deserve this win because I worked him all week. The player that knows himself doesn't need a game to tell him who he is. The player that knows who he is doesn't need confirmation or validation. When you watch this man play, it's only a reflection of what this man been doing every day. The person to the player that masters himself has mastered you. And when you step across from a man like this who knows himself, please know that he getting ready to whoop your think it's a game. I'm just telling the truth. Get your mind right, Big Dawg. Here we go. You know what that means. When you hear that beat go down, that means it's time for a Big Dawg breakdown. 2018, week 1 of NFL season. Let's go. Big Dawg number 90, TJ Watts, outside linebacker / defensive end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. TJ Watts, the brother of JJ Watts. The Watts playing out there with some serious power, and TJ wasn't playing no games as the Pittsburgh Steelers played against the Cleveland Browns. Big Dawg, I don't know if you saw this game, but this man went crazy. He recorded 4 sacks, 4 Big Dawg, 4 sacks in one game, several tackles, and a blocked field goal. It was clear those plays he made, he already made them plays. It looked like he done played that game already. You know what I'm saying, Big Dawg? I got to talk about TJ Watts because for some reason, Pass rushers always feel that their rushes have to be clean. Nobody cares if your pass rush clean. You can be clean and non-productive. Get to the quarterback, man. The thing that impressed me the most with TJ's play was his motor. You understand? This man was playing with a whole different intensity and at a whole different speed. This man sound like... Well, he gone. Big dog, if you want to be a great pass rusher, you need a motor. That means your feet should never stop turning. You should never stop eating up turf. You got to put them feet down so you can gain ground. TJ Watt does a great job of that. This man's feet never stop moving. So therefore, you can't block him because he won't stand still. You have to understand, most NFL sacks are not clean. They are second effort sacks. They are sacks where guys keep playing and they don't stop playing until they get what they want. Yes, he had a great speed rush off the edge. It was a nice speed rip. Got off the ball well, dropped his inside shoulder. It was a mismatch because the tight end was trying to block this man. Don't do it. A perfect sack off the edge. Couple ones where he was spying the quarterback. Quarterback tried to get out the pocket. He hawked him down. But my favorite sack out of the whole game was when a running back came and tried to chip him as he's going against the right offensive tackle. The running back did a good job of chipping him. The offensive tackle did a good job of blocking him. But that ain't stop him. His motor, big dog. His motor. He kept working his feet. He kept his feet going. Bent the corner. Quarterback was still there looking downfield. And here he comes with excellent effort and an amazing motor. Sacks the quarterback. Pushed through two offensive players, an offensive tackle and a running back to get a sack. And you would think this man was done for the day, right? You would think he could take his helmet off, put a hat on, take his shoulder pads off, and sit down. But no, that's not how TJ Watts get down. This man goes out there with the game tied at 21, blocks a field goal. He blocks a field goal. I'm telling you, man, attitude always before Arsenal. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you show up for your first game. I see you, big dog. I see you, TJ. You ain't JJ's little brother. You TJ Watt. Keep eating, big dog. Keep eating. Number 99, DeForest Buckner, big defensive tackle for the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers played the Vikings for their first week of NFL football. And DeForest Buckner recorded 3 sacks for an excellent game. I had to talk about Big Buckner because Big Dog just dominated the trenches. He made it known right off the bat that he was going to be a handful all year long. Now you have to understand something. This big dog is 6'7". He's a 6'7" defensive tackle. The more this big dog understands that his length is his strength, and he learns how to continue to use that consistently to his advantage, y'all better double team this big guy, I'm telling you. Ain't gonna be no stopping him. DeForest Buckner had an excellent sack earlier in the game because I thought on this particular play that he actually used his length pretty well. The offensive guard did a bad job of leaning into his punch, and DeForest Buckner took full advantage of it. He did an excellent job of actually clubbing over the offensive guard. Now understand he could do that, he's 6'7". On top of that, the offensive guard helped him by bending over and leaning into his punch. So if I was him and I had a guard that was scared to get punched, I'd club over too. You want to be an ostrich and stick your head in the dirt? Let me club over you and go to work. And that's exactly what Big Buckner does for the mean sack. What was really impressive was his length and his leverage. After he clubbed over the offensive guard, the quarterback had to be at least 3 yards away. This man closed the distance so quick, quarterback just laid it down. I don't blame you, big dog. This man's a monster. I thought that was smart play at the line of scrimmage. Why? Because first of all, you have to learn to use your strength. Know yourself, master yourself, and you'll dominate the man in front of you. He used the move that fit him best, and it happened to be the perfect move at the right time to beat that offensive guard on that club over. I'm telling you, big dog, you have to use the move that plays to your advantage. Your advantage. But as I continued to watch him play, I thought he did an excellent job of using his hands. He did a good job of not staying on the offensive lineman too long. The fact that he used his length as his strength, it kept the offensive lineman away from him. This enabled him to get off of that offensive lineman quickly and close ground on that quarterback. When I watched him play, the thing that came to mind was, man, he's playing with great effort. Effort. The one thing I hate the most when I'm watching trench play is the lack of effort. As if you ain't know what you signed up for. It's the trenches, big dog. It ain't gonna be easy. Your hands are weapons and you have to learn how to use them. You can't stay in one spot too long in the trenches. You have to be able to get on and get off. Use your hands to engage and disengage. And have the effort to get to where you're supposed to go. Show me a man with great effort, and I'll show you a man who always playing. Your coach gonna play you if you play with great effort. But I'm telling you, to have great effort is to have attitude. It's you knowing in your knower that you're not leaving this field until you get what you came for. A man with effort can't be denied of what he know is his. And that's what I saw when I saw Big Buckner out there playing. To me, he was saying, this year is a different year. I'm going to be better than I was last year. And my debut is today. First game, and I'm having a great day. That's what most impressed me about him. And it was important that I talk about that because when you're playing in the trenches, it ain't always going to be pretty. It ain't always going to be clean. But when you out there playing with effort, you out there playing like Mean Joe Green. I see you out there, big number 99, Big Buckner. Very nice club over. Great use of hands in the trenches. Most importantly, great effort, big dog. I see you, big dog. Keep playing and keep eating. Big dog number 55, Dee Ford, linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs played the LA Chargers in week 1 of the NFL season. I read something that Dee Ford said, which I appreciated, in his interview after week 1 of training camp. He said, in order to be great, you have to be consistent. And big dog, I agree with you. You can't just be great once. That's not greatness at all. Some people will call that luck. When I train with my big dogs and they do a good move or a good job on a play, I tell them, when you do it right once, it's luck. When you do it again, it's skill. So was that luck or was that skill? Well, Big Dog Ford showed great skill with his sack against the LA Chargers. I always like to see the linebackers, which is supposed to be the smaller guys, go against those big offensive guards and tackles. I love to see those matchups because when I see those matchups, I'm looking to see how much wisdom that linebacker has as he gets ready to go against this big offensive guard. And here this big offensive guard can't wait to get his hands on him and shut him down. So this is where I'm hoping that my blitzing linebackers or my pass rushing linebackers off the edge will use their hands. For some reason, my small linebackers want to show that they're more powerful than that offensive lineman. Once again, that's cool, that's great, but the objective is to get to the quarterback. And if you defeat them hands, big dog, you defeat the man. And I've always said from the beginning, long time ago, if you defeat the hands, you defeat the man. My defensive ends, my outside linebackers, listen to me. If you can put 2 hands on him, it means he can put 2 hands on you. So what you gonna do? Stop making it easy for him by always going to a 2-hand press. Ask any offensive tackle Find any offensive lineman and ask them this question. Say, Big Hall, what's the easiest pass rush to block? Most of them are going to say the bull rush. Most of the offensive linemen that I've spoken with and that I've worked with that play in the NFL say that the pass rush that is the easiest to block is the bull rush. Big Dog, stop running down his center. Unless you set him up, which I understand, use your hands. Work a half. Work his edge. Airtight, no sunlight. Be a bully at the bend and go get that win. Use your hands. And that's exactly what Ford does on his pass rush. Big Dog number 55, Ford, does an excellent job of first getting off the ball. He does a great job of attacking that offensive guard. Now, Big Dog, I'm going to say something to you that I think is valuable. You can't put a price tag on what I'm about to say. When you learn how to attack an offensive lineman without attacking an offensive lineman, you got it. When you attack an offensive lineman and you threaten his cushion, he's going to shoot his hands to defend it. And right when he shoots his hands, because you threatened his space, you broke his cushion, you beat them hands up, Big Dog. You should have seen it. Ford does a good job of attacking the offensive lineman's cushion. He gets tight to the fight. He gets those hands up, and the offensive guard calls himself flashing his hands at him. Bad idea, Big Dog. Bad idea. This man is a vet. He didn't take your bait. He didn't throw his hands out there because he was nowhere near your cushion. Be careful about that, Big Dog. Watch out for those offensive linemen who like to flash their hands. They just flash in their hands so that you can try to swipe at their hands, and once you swipe and miss, they latch on. It's kind of like baseball, Big Dog. Don't go for the foul ball. Don't let the pitcher have you swinging at everything. Focus your eyes. Know where your strike zone is. Know that when you attack that offensive lineman and you get very tight to the fight and you get your hands up to strike, be patient. Because when you break his cushion and he feels threatened, he's going to give you exactly what you want. He's going to give you those hands. And right when he let those hands go, Big Dog is going to feel like a home run. Those hands landed and you off to the races, baby. You should have seen Big Ford. Ford did one of my favorite moves called the finesse club rip. Now, the reason why I call it a finesse club rip, because he attacked the actual elbow of the offensive lineman. There is a such thing as a power club rip where you attack the shoulder plate of the offensive lineman and you pull yourself through. Ford took advantage when he got tight on him and he had his hands up at the right time. As soon as that offensive guard let his hands go, Ford did a really good job of clubbing the offensive lineman's elbow. When you club the elbow like that, you seal that offensive lineman, and most of the time he can't circle punch you. Now, when I say circle punch, I'm talking about a recovering punch. A lot of times, offensive linemen can circle punch or recover punch if you hit their wrist or their hands. But sometimes when you get that elbow, you trap him and pin his elbow to his body where he can't recover. Not only does Ford on his pass rush trap and seal his elbow on a finesse club rip, but he turns his shoulders and gets skinny. So even if there was a chance for that offensive guard to recover, there was no way he was going to recover because Ford did a good job of turning his shoulders, what I call getting key skinny, and takes away surface from that offensive guard. Big Dog, once he did that, it was over. At that point, he became a linebacker. And what I mean by linebacker is that he accelerated to the quarterback. And most pass rushers forget to do that. They accelerate at the wrong time. They rush their pass rush. And if you rush your pass rush, you won't put yourself in position to accelerate. Ford did a good job of getting tight to the offensive lineman, attacking them without attacking him. He makes that offensive guard shoot his hands prematurely. Ford makes him pay for it by finessing club ripping that guard, attacking his elbow and trapping it, keeping him from recovery punching. Ford does a good job of turning his shoulders and getting skinny, taking away surface from that offensive guard, not allowing them to recover. And at that point, he takes his inside arm, throws it vertical to get him ripping and running, and he accelerates to the quarterback. He accelerates to the quarterback so the quarterback can't get out of his trap. Quarterback can't go nowhere. Ford was too fast and too furious. He club ripped them hands, and he gone again. Big Dog, you should have seen it. I want to make another note of this pass rush. If I'm a coach and I'm on the sideline, when I'm looking at a pass rusher, the one thing that I would like to see every now and again is your jersey number. If I can see your jersey number every now and again, I know you're getting key skinny. I know you're working your shoulders. I know you're taking away surface while working vertical and gaining ground. Every now and again, Big Dog, I should see them numbers. And again, if you watch Ford on his pass rush, you're going to see him doing an excellent job of getting key skinny and turning those shoulders. One of my big dogs asked me, he said, "Coach, why you call it key skinny?" I said, "Big Dog, first of all, because you got to turn that key to get that key in. Once you turn that key to get that key in, and now that you fit it in that lock, now you can turn that key and unlock that door." Big Dog, you got to get key skinny, because once you fit in, you get in. I like to see my linebackers play like tacticians in the trenches. It's always good to see my pass rushers outsmart that offensive lineman. Use your hand combat skills. Defeat the man by defeating them hands. I see you, Big Dog Ford. I see that hard work paying off. Like you said, Big Dog, show how great you are. Show that consistency. Keep eating, Big Dog. Keep eating. All the players I talked about today, you can tell that they had a little bit of what I mentioned earlier. These young men are mastering themselves. And as they continue to practice, hopefully they keep getting better and better, as you should. Remember, Big Dog, you'll never master anybody else until you master yourself. Week 1 for the NFL 2018 season, and week 2, here we come. I got a feeling that it's only going to get better. Let's see next week who makes it on our Big Dog Breakdown. If you would like me to break down one of your big dogs, send me the film. Let me break it down. As always, Big Dog, I appreciate you spending time with me, like two wise men under a tree, watching the game and fussing at the TV, talking about, why would you run that against a cover 3? Thank you for listening and subscribing to Big Dog Trench Talk. And thank you to the many that have visited BigDogFootball.com. All of the pass rush moves we talked about today, we talked about J.T. Watts doing the speed rip rush on the edge. We talked about DeForest Buckner with the club over. And we talked about Dee Ford with the finesse club rip. You can find all of those pass rush tutorials in detail on BigDogFootball.com. So pay us a visit and join the mission and making sure that our big dogs in the trenches are the absolute best they can be. And don't forget, when you check out, use the promo code. Make sure you put in podcast. When you put in podcast as the promo code, you will get 20% off of your purchase. Why? Because we truly appreciate you joining us at Big Dog Trench Talk. All right, Big Dog, enough talking. You know what time it is. It's time for me to go back in the lab and get my big dogs better. Hey, coaches. Hey, Big Dog. It's time to stick our cleats in the dirt and let's go to work.